Okay.
Mm. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, guys. I hope you all can hear me clearly. अच्छा, so congratulations for passing the IQ test जो भी इस live stream में भी है. Well, like, can someone just comment and let me know if everything's working all right? All right. So first, I'll introduce myself. My name is Ahmed Zafar, and I am a first year MBBS student at AKU. So I'll hand over the mic to Dayan, and he'll introduce himself.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I hope that I'm audible. My name is Dayan Hassan, and I'm also a first year MBBS at AKU. And today we are going to talk about the stage two form and the interview process for the shortlisted candidates. And the
Definitely.
first thing that we are going to say that congratulations for those who have got in, and it's a very great achievement. And now you have to do a little bit more in putting your efforts on the stage two form in the interview. So let I
Also,
will.
definitely, we also have to say that we had to arrange this webinar in a very short time क्योंकि हमने expect किया था कि एक हफ्ते बाद एक ही results release होंगे, but we had to like arrange this webinar in a very short time. So this webinar would be mostly based on your question and answer session, but we would try to cover as much content as we can. So let's move to the stage two form guidance and to the next slide, please. All right. So basically आपको एक email हुआ होगा एक stage two form का packet like which have all the instructions and the components of the form, and I'll step by step go through everything. So next slide. Okay, so 8 September, I have heard that the deadline for the form is 8 September, so that makes it like 2 to 3 days for you to complete the form. और उसमें there are a lot of things, and firstly, I would talk about the reference letters because reference letters, if you haven't gone to your teachers or your principal yet, so I would highly recommend you to message them right now or go to your school the first in the morning and get the reference letters done by your teachers. And after that, like come to the next part of the stage two form. The next slide, please. So yeah, so there's a lot of query about the instructions, about the attestations of the certificates and the documents. So you can get your documents and certificate attested by either your school or by any 17th grade or above government officer. दोनों से करवा लो, कोई मसला नहीं होगा, किसी एक से करवा लो, it will be all right. और I would suggest that जो stage two form है वो try to edit that on a PDF, like try to add your text online and then print it out, because अगर आप पेन से लिखना शुरू कर दोगे that would take a lot of space and that won't be as presentable as well. So use any PDF editor. I use Microsoft Edge on Windows. You can also use Adobe and any PDF editor that you can use to put your text on the form. It is all right. Usually, your school attests your extracurricular certificates, but if they are not, so what you have to do is you have to like go to any 17th grade or above government officer and get them attested by get the certificates or document attested by them. It will work. Uh, एंड 8 सितंबर तक अगर आपने डेडलाइन है तो you can TCS the documents on 8 September as well. Like you don't have to TCS the form 2 days before. It's better to do that, but like it's all right if your date to the on the TCS form is 8 September. AQ does accept that. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. And the next slide. So yeah, so the first component is the academic achievements that people usually have to shortlist their the best academic achievement, then write it. So 2018 and 2022 के दरमियान जो भी academic achievements हैं other than your grades, so go you can write them on under this category. And इसमें क्या क्या इसमें आपकी distinctions आ जाती हैं like O and A level के अगर if you have otherwise you can like there are a lot of other science programs. For example, मेरा एक STEM स्कूल का प्रोग्राम था जिसमें I had an achievement, I wrote that. कोई भी साइंस का कंपटीशन और कोई भी everything that is academically related like any subject biology या फिर biomedicine से related है कुछ भी you can write that under academic achievement.
Sorry, I would like to add इसमें थोड़ा सा that the academic achievements में like even if you like in your school या in your college you have received something academic achievement related thing like लोगों को prizes मिलते हैं या कोई trophy या shield मिली होती है regarding something, so you can also add that as well इसके अंदर. एंड इसके अलावा एज अहमद मेंशन दैट स्टेम के कोई प्रोग्राम होते हैं जैसे यूजुअली नेशनल साइंस टैलेंट कॉन्टेस्ट होता है, तो इफ़ यू आर गॉट सेलेक्टेड इन दैट एज वेल सो यू कैन राइट दैट एज वेल एज इन दी एकेडमिक अचीवमेंट्स.
All right. So, guys, we'll answer your questions just after like we cover these few things. We'll have an extensive question and answer session. So let's move on to the next slide. All right. So gap year की अगर हम बात करें तो basically I did not take a gap year, neither did Dayan, but I asked some of my friends who went through a gap year and they give some tips that if anyone of you is taking a gap year and has to fill that form. So basically, you have to tell them that you spent the gap year productively, and you don't have to you don't have to like कि आपने कुछ भी नहीं किया बस बैठे रहो आपने बस पढ़ाई की है. You don't have to say that. You have to show them that you did something productive in your gap year. Like one of my friends took an online job, uh, other or कोई photography course किया हो कुछ भी any even if you played sports you can write that in the gap year. And why did you take a gap year? इसमें आप कह सकते हो कि AQ was your dream medical college, but the reason has to be personal. Like why was AQ your dream college? Like उसमें you have to go on the website and see that this for example AQ में अगर SRC है the sports center, you want to use that. Like you have to everything has to be personal because a lot of people would write कि अच्छा AQ is my dream college, but uh, uh, everyone will write that, so you will not be different. एंड अगर आपने गैप ईयर में कोई भी लाइक साइंस कंपटीशन किया है यू कैन राइट दैट हियर. लास्ट ईयर इट वाज अ होल एसे, बट दिस ईयर दे हैव broken it down to into different parts. So we'll answer more of the questions if anyone asks in the question and answer session, but let's move on to the next slide. अच्छा, तो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट सेक्शन और इस साल उन्होंने ये किया है कि दे हैव लाइक कंबाइंड दीज थ्री कैटेगरीज जो पिछले साल डिफरेंट थी आर्ट्स एंड म्यूजिक पब्लिक स्पीकिंग एंड फ्लुएंट सोसाइटीज एंड दे हैव मेड दिस वन कैटेगरी एंड यू हैव टू राइट थ्री एक्टिविटीज इन द होल कैटेगरी. तो इसमें अब सीन ये है कि आपने you have to write three activities but you have to explain them और explain करने के लिए if you write and edit on a PDF that would give you a lot of space. तो for example अगर आपकी तीन एक्टिविटीज हैं तो आपने ये करना है कि you have to write an activity. For example, you are a president of a music society, so write president of a music society and then write sub details of that, like you organize that event. That would अगर होगी वो एक ही activity but the sub details would be explaining that activity, so that would give you much like a much better impression at the admissions committee. And आगे like for example public speaking का कोई activity है तो you can write like you did debates, and you can like mention the debates in detail in the sub points. Or इसको you can alter the form in like in PDF as well. Like अगर उन्होंने 10 lines दी हुई हैं, you don't have to like like आपने उन्हीं 10 lines पे अपना content भरना है. Like you can also like expand the line, you can eliminate one line, and you don't have to fill out all the lines. ठीक है, आपने बस presentable करके अपना सारे activities को present करना है. And also very important, another very important thing is that when you're writing your activities, try to quantify them. For example, if you organize an event, उसमें आप ये लिखो कि organize an event with an audience of 500 people. Try to quantify as much as you can, because if you look at the CVs and the profiles of the people who apply to job interviews as well, they try to quantify that, because that makes a better impression in convincing the person on the other side. Moving on to the next slide. ठीक है, तो sports में अगर आप even if you have like never participated or you've ever won a competition, it's all right. You can just mention that you play this as a hobby. और hobby के लिए you don't have to आपको हर hobby के लिए certificate चाहिए. It's all right. They understand अगर आप गली में क्रिकेट खेलते हो, इसके it does not mean that आपको उसका सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा. Yeah, you can just write that, and if they ask in the interview, you can explain that मेरा passion है, like I I play cricket in my street. So it does not have to be a competition, and you don't have to be the best in every like category. It's just not usually possible. So quality is matters more than quantity. Remember that. For example, अगर आपको research में कोई section आपको कोई activity नहीं भी है, you can leave that empty. It does not matter. A lot of people leave that empty and still get accepted. But अगर research में अगर आपने workshop भी attend की हुई है ना कोई online, तो that also counts under the research category. ऑलराइट, सो वह इस पर वॉलंटरी पे एंड पेड वर्क उन्होंने कंबाइन कर दिया है, सो दैट मेक्स इट इजियर फॉर यू बिकॉज वी डू अ लॉट ऑफ वॉलंटरी वर्क, बट वी वेरी फ्यू ऑफ अस हैव डन पेड वर्क. पिछले साल पेड वर्क की एक डिफरेंट कैटेगरी थी. सही है. और अदर एक्टिविटीज में आपका कुछ भी आ सकता है, लाइक व्हाट यू वर नॉट एबल टू मेंशन इन द प्रीवियस, यू कैन राइट दैट हियर एज वेल.
अच्छा,
एंड
I would like to add
ऑल्सो,
थोड़ा सा.
हाँ श्योर,
Okay,
श्योर.
so in voluntary work, usually these are the stuffs like if you have done any internships in any hospital वगैरह, तो वो सब भी इसी के अंदर आती हैं, या anything other than that, like कोई drive की है, donation drive की है, या if you have like participated in a beach cleanup वगैरह, all those things come under the voluntary work. और इसके अलावा इन द पेड वर्क सेक्शन, इसमें यूजुअली जो पेड वर्किंग जैसे यूजुअली पीपल प्रोवाइड ट्यूशंस, तो वो इसके अंदर आ जाएंगे. ऑब्वियसली उसके अंदर जो वेरीफाइंग कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर वगैरह है, तो यू कैन प्रोवाइड द कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर, बट आस्क द पीपल that you are providing their contact number पहले, and then give their contact number. इसके अलावा you can add अगर like if you are doing some business with some people, like if you are participating in that, you are doing some marketing वगैरह, उसका link you can add it in there. इसके अलावा you some like in A level colleges there is a theme of having TAs, तो they also get paid, तो वो भी paid work के अंदर आ जाता है. So all these things you can add under the paid work section as well.
Exactly. Say, so I think let's move on to the question and answer session. Yeah, can you move to yes? Like, we'll now answer your questions. I'll look at the comments now. Asha, if you stood first in your class, is that an academic achievement to mention? Uh, I'm
अच्छा
not sure
अहमद.
if you like, huh?
Acha, Ahmed, what I suggest that if I like show this and then you can answer the question like
Yeah,
this.
sure. All right.
Can you
So,
see?
what if your extracurricular is done outside the school? Can the school still attest it? So it depends. Like some schools can attest it, but मेरा school ने attest कर दिया था. But अगर आपका school नहीं करे attest, so it does not matter. You can get it attested by any officer, government officer that is 17th grade or above. SAT scores. Yes, I think you can mention that in the academic achievements. Yes, you can. Let me just a second.
Okay, so
हाँ,
this
आप सैट
question
कर सकते
asks.
हो, आप कैंगरू कर सकते हो, आप टोफल कर सकते हो. Like you can mention these SAT scores and your academic achievements.
Right. Okay. So this question asks about adding the grades at all, like the certificates we received on our grades. So yeah, you can like if this those are like O level, A level grades, then you have to write it in the results section जो उसके ऊपर होता है academic achievements के ऊपर. And academic
Hmm.
achievements में like अगर कोई school ने आपको कोई prize दिया या school ने जैसे in my school I used to receive trophies for different subjects. So like if the school has given you like trophies or उसकी कोई certificate या कोई picture you have that you can attach as a proof, so you can write that as an academic achievement.
सही है. What about some courses that you took outside of school? Yeah, definitely. अगर आपको courses में कोई achievement है, like not just taking the course, like for example some achievement. For example, you won a first prize in that course, or you won a distinction. Maybe that counts as a good academic achievement.
Okay, so this was already answered by Ahmed, I guess. So yeah, you can mention that if you like think that it is your one of the best activities, then you can
Hmm, definitely.
definitely mention it in the achievement section.
Yeah, because a distinction is like being first in the district or the country. So if you're even first in your class, that is an academic achievement.
Okay, so this is somewhat similar, like वो थोड़ा school से related था. This is like related to the boards. Yeah, definitely. If you have got an award from your board,
Definitely.
like distinctions या Aga Khan board में you get awards वगैरह, तो yeah, you can definitely write
Yeah,
it down.
that counts. That counts definitely. Top university acceptance. I think you can write that, but like फिर आपको explain करना पड़ सकता है आगे interview वगैरह में, because they might have your stage 2 form. And ज़रूरी नहीं है, because a lot of people like अगर उनका काफी बाद में interview आता है, उनको हो सकता है stage 2 form की activities हो interview के पास. There's a possibility. So आपसे वो पूछ सकते हैं इसके question के, अच्छा अगर you got accepted in this university, why are you not joining that? So have an answer prepared for that then. Yeah, that is not an academic achievement. That can come in other activities as well. Like आप other का section अगर सबसे end पे देखो, उसमें आप ये लिख सकते
Ahmed,
हो.
Ahmed, I think so. This question is asking about the gap year वाला part. तो
अच्छा,
अगर
gap
gap
year.
year में जो
हाँ,
लिखना था
definitely.
that.
हाँ, definitely you can write that in the gap year section. The next question. Can you link activities that are very close together, like doing a play and then later joining the drama club, even though they took place at slightly different times? Up, huh? Definitely. You can like mention that under one activity. Like you can say that a member of this drama club, and I did this play. And under the subcategories, you can mention drama club के member होके आपने क्या किया? You did this play. You organized this event. You can mention that in the details.
Okay, so this is the thing that you have not explained them. It's okay. Like if you have mentioned them, so try when you are giving you the interview now. So you try to bring them up and try to bring them up during your skills and
Huh.
whatever things you have done, and uske andar try to speak about them so that they ask you more. And
Yes.
obviously, interviewers take notes of the things that you are saying, so they
Exactly.
will count.
Like a lot of people don't explain that in the stage 2 form. Like it's just an advantage if you do that, but a lot of people don't. So इनका इंटरव्यू होता है इसलिए कि अगर आप अपने आप को एक्सप्लेन कर सको, अपनी एक्टिविटीज को एक्सप्लेन कर सको, सो यू कैन एक्सप्लेन योर एक्टिविटीज इन द इंटरव्यू एज वेल. No, you don't have to. It's like it's good if you have the activities, enough activities to fill out the full 4 rows. But it doesn't matter. A lot of people who get accepted don't have all the form filled. Yes, it's enough to add a certificate, but like मैंने कोई research publish नहीं की थी, but I had some certificates that I worked on, तो उसमें कोई मसला नहीं होता. Even if you attended a workshop जिसमें research सिखा रहे हो, तो you can add that. No, it doesn't matter. Research कोई भी हो सकती है, scientific या फिर public health या फिर social, any research. Yes, it's
Okay.
definitely all
Uh,
right.
It's okay. Like some people even don't have one thing in a category, so that's okay. But it would be encouraged that if you go ahead and write something in each category, at least one thing, that is more encouraged.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
y- yeah, yeah, they do come in the paid work, Roshan.
Definitely.
I
Uh, Attending career counseling workshop, like I don't think that is research, because if you like look up what is actually research, what is the definition of research, I don't think that comes under career counseling.
You can write in research, like if you have attended a workshop related to research, like explaining things about research, so you can add those. But I am not sure about this. Probably not.
Yeah, like you should explain more. You should send in the comments what do you actually mean. What did you actually do in the career counseling workshop? Then I think we might be able to comment on that.
Okay, this question has been asked several times, and as per I know that you can leave it empty and say that they have not yet come. But some people have asked the MBBS query regarding this, and they have replied that you can add your previous registration number, which was given before all this things when the exams were postponed. So you can add those, or agar usme you had gotten the slip, so you can even attach that slip. But if it's not there, then it's no worries. You can just leave it empty and say that we क्या कहते हैं, they have not even given the date yet. It would be
Hmm.
okay.
The next question.
It would come under the voluntary work, as per I think. Would it?
Yeah, it can definitely. If you volunteered for an internship at a hospital, at or an observership, it comes under voluntary activities.
Yeah, it will be okay. Wahaj.
Yeah, definitely. It would be all right. like अगर आपको है नहीं कुछ लिखने को तो then obviously you won't what would you write in third option, but it's all right, a lot of people don't. Yeah, you can write best student of the year in academic achievement. You don't have to mention more than three activities because they'll only see the first three activities. इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ कि अगर आपकी एक्टिविटीज थोड़ी सिमिलर है ना, फॉर एग्जाम्पल लाइक अ प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ अ क्लब, तो उसमें आप लिखो प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ अ क्लब एंड देन मेंशन द एक्टिविटीज दैट यू डिड बीइंग अ प्रेसिडेंट. What about the
I'm.
courses that you taught yourself? Uh,
Are you
like
talking
what
about
kind of
online
courses?
courses?
They can come in the category of other activities or uh, like डिपेंड करता है कोर्स किस तरह का था. अगर रिसर्च कोर्स है तो रिसर्च में भी आ सकता है, स्पोर्ट्स का था तो स्पोर्ट्स में भी आ सकता है.
Okay, for this, as मतलब like हम लोगों ने शुरू में भी बोला है that you can get attested your certificates from the school as well. Or if the school is not like they are not doing it, then you can get it attested by a government officer, 17 grade or above. But if the school is okay in doing that, then you can definitely get it attested by the school.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is okay to leave any part blank, but it is highly recommended
Hmm.
that you add at least something in each category.
Yes.
Yes, you can add those ECAs, but try to provide evidence like school. अगर like if it was related to a school, so school के email भेज दो या कोई facilitator कोई था कोई ऐसा who can
Hmm.
confirm it, उनका email दे दो या उनका number दे दो. That would be more recommended.
Hmm. I put a future learn course in the other section. Should I mention it in the academic achievements? Future learn course, like is it a course that you would do in the future, or like is it something else? Like if it's a course in that you would do in the future, that I don't think it should come under the academic achievement because it is not already an achievement. So I think in the other activities it would be like good better. Yeah,
I think
definitely.
so.
That is a
Food
very good
drive.
activity.
I think so. Food drive would come under the voluntary work, wouldn't it?
Voluntary भी आ सकता है हाँ.
So you can add that in voluntary as well. Like if you don't have voluntary के three things, then you can definitely add. Otherwise, उसको others में you can add.
Like you volunteer to do that with your family, so it's kind of a voluntary activity.
Actually, answering this question, so here that stage two में जो who are taking a gap year, they have like मेरे जानते in my batch also there are like a lot of people who have like cleared after taking a gap year. So होते हैं that like there is a considerable amount of people who get cleared with the stage two even after taking a gap year. So no, it's not like you have less chances.
Exactly. Like अगर आपका productive gap year हुआ है and if you've done meaningful things, then like it would definitely won't make you at a disadvantage. Like आपके लिए वो advantage भी होगा if you have done productive things in that gap year. अच्छा, example, let me. Okay. So, for example, you are a president of a club, ठीक है? President of, for example, a music club. तो आप सब categories में लिख सकते हो organize an event, जिसमें annual event, ठीक है, जिसमें 500 people attended that event, ठीक है? Second category आप second उसके explanation लिख सकते हो organize multiple open mics or organize multiple uh, musical events, something like that. And also you can, on the third point, you can write I also performed at my event, something like that. Like being a president, you obviously did a lot of things, okay? So usme you can write those things under that activity instead of writing that separately. Instead of writing an activity separately like organize an event, you can mention that under that like subhead, the main heading. I wish that makes sense. You stand out in a way that you quantify the activities. For example, you don't say that you were an organizer of an event. You tell them how big was that event. You were organizer of an international youth Olympiad in which 1,000 people attended. So that makes it very quantifiable. Like 1,000 people attended. Like it means that you organized a huge event. Definitely you can like आप other activities में भी लगा सकते sports में लगा सकते हो कि you're going to run a marathon in the future. तो आपका वो definitely आप इंटरव्यू में बता सकते हो बाद में कि I did not attach a certificate but I have it right now. तो आप इंटरव्यू में वो चीज़ें लेके जा सकते हो if they ask for it.
Acha, for this question, no, it doesn't. As per like, as per my understanding, it doesn't count as a research.
It depends ना कि अगर उसने like what did you exactly do? Like searching up and gathering information is like just organizing an MUN. So that comes under part of organizing. Researching is like if you're doing it to like doing something to make it better or investigating something.
I think so. This one falls under the first category, जिसके अंदर public speaking भी आ रहा है. So you can definitely add this in the category one, the literary competition. Yeah, you can mention it, and for a proof, you can give your sister's email. That would be perfect. I am not sure about this, Ahmed. Do you know?
Published book falls in which category? इसमें आएगा literary वाली first category में probably. या फिर अगर आपने you have earned money from that, so you can also write it in the paid work as well.
Okay, if it's a school, like if it's your organization जिसके through you are doing it, like it's a school or the authority, then I think so you don't have to. But like if it's someone else, like जैसे मैंने बोला था that if you are providing tuitions to someone and उसका you are giving the number, so you definitely have to inform them, like if you are giving like it was not directly related to your college, but you participated in something and you want your college to uh, for this like as a verifying authority, then you have to tell them that you are giving their email regarding this and that you
I
have a
think
guarantee.
then we should just take three more questions and then move on to the next part of the interview section.
Yes. Okay. Let's just take three more questions.
Because I see a lot of questions are repeating with what we already discussed.
Yeah.
So अगर आपको like कोई questions पूछने भी हैं, you can reach us out on WhatsApp groups or even on Instagram.
Exactly.
Uh, Definitely they might be very similar, but definitely उनका जो reason होगा वो different होगा, and that is what you explain in the interview. Or like for example, a lot of people would have done MUNs, ठीक है, लेकिन हो सकता है like a lot of people would also have won outstanding diplomats or in MUN section, but other parts might be different. Or also how you explain that in the interview section के why did you do that activity. अगर आपको इंटरव्यू में इवन इफ यू हैव डन अ फ्यू एक्टिविटीज सो बट यू आर एबल टू एक्सप्लेन दैट कि मैंने वो मीनिंगफुली लाइक एक मीनिंगफुल रीजन की वजह से की हैं, दैट मेक्स अ गुड बेटर इम्पैक्ट देन जस्ट डूइंग अ लॉट ऑफ एक्टिविटीज एंड हैविंग नो रीजन बिहाइंड दैट.
Right. Okay. This is the second last one. I think so. Yes, you can do that, and it would be obviously because you cannot add like you can add digital signatures, but it's preferred that if you're like doing it by handwriting, that would
हाँ,
be
लेकिन
great.
आपने उसे प्रिंट तो करना ही है, तो इट्स बेटर इफ यू प्रिंट इट आउट एंड और आराम से साइन करवा लो, बिकॉज डिजिटली साइनिंग इज नॉट दैट लाइक इजी फॉर एवरीवन, बिकॉज योर टीचर्स वोंट बी एबल टू साइन दैट. सो अगर आप उनसे डायरेक्टली जाके साइन करवा लो, दैट इज easier. And the
I
last
think so. Some
question.
are also, huh? There are a few questions regarding that we are doing it after some time. So yeah, you can add that we are going to do this in future. There is one thing.
If you have multiple certificates in one category, can we attach all of them? If you're mentioning the activity, then attach the certificate only. Like if you're not mentioning the activity, then it won't matter because they would not look at it.
Acha, bas, I'm going to just add one last comment. This is the last one left. So yeah, this is the comment.
For a competition, we have to come up with a rough design with blueprints, logistics, and the physics behind it. Could that come under research? Huh. Like if you're designing a rough, depends, yeah. I would
I
need to
would
know more
personally
about
feel
that.
it, but probably it might come under the category like you are like designing a project. Yeah, something like
Huh.
you are like competition you are organizing it now. So it's basically come under
Yes.
organization. So probably it will come under
Hmm.
societies.
Like
Yeah, it will come under
if you
the public.
if you explain it as like अगर आप ऐसे उसे present करो ना कि for example you are designing the most stable raft, ठीक है, so like we came up with a raft design that was the most stable by reviewing literature online, so that can come under research. It depends on how you explain it. और ये एक पीछे क्वेश्चन आया था, उसका भी यही आंसर है कि अगर आप उनको इस तरह प्रेजेंट करो कि आई मेड दिस डिजाइन एंड आई वांटेड टू मेक इट बेटर देन द प्रीवियस ड्राफ्ट, तो वो दैट कैन कम अंडर रिसर्च.
Okay, so I think so we should move ahead with the interview. We will again answer some more questions regarding the interview after we
हाँ
have
सही है.
talked about thoda sa about the interview session. Okay, so
Alright,
let's move
let's
ahead
move
with
on.
it. Okay, so interview tips. So the first thing that you should go for your interview is that your most of the people, like some of you have already received their dates. So basically, the interview dates are received before the week you are going to have the interview. So like if you have the interview in the coming week, so probably you would have received the dates by Friday or by Thursday. So usually you receive dates on Thursday or Friday or for your next week. So you have like some time before you know that you have the interview. For going to the interview, you have received your date and your time. You should reach at least 30 minutes before your interview time so that you know the place and you reach there beforehand. When you reach that place, probably they give you a form regarding your personal details वगैरह so that they can deliver you your acceptance letter. And then उसके बाद they ask you to wait for your interview time. You are taken to your interview. When you are walking towards the interview room, walk confidently and don't walk very fast, don't walk very slow, walk at a normal pace and try to look confident. For wearing things, you should wear formal clothes. For boys, it should be a formal shirt with dress pant and with dress shoes, and coat if
It
you
can also
want.
be a suit.
But
So
yeah,
basically,
that
your dressing में yes, dressing में सीन है कि you have to look nice, neat and presentable. Okay, like you can wear a suit or you can like wear just a dress shirt. You can either wear a tie. Like it depends. So you just have to look presentable and neat. और लड़कियों के लिए like I asked my friend, I can't comment on that myself, but I asked my friend and she said that where if you're wearing Eastern clothes, तो ऐसे पहनो like they are which are plain and don't have like bright designs. And if you're wearing Western, you can either wear Eastern or Western. And if you're wearing Western, you can either wear a vest pants and a vest shirt, or even a turtleneck and a blazer. You just have to look presentable, professional, and neat.
right. So when reaching to the interview room, to first greet the interviewer, say assalamu alaikum, good morning, whatever you prefer, and then after entering, you should ask them to sit down if like before sitting down. Then uske alawa, when you are like speaking to them, language is the most important. So like when you are talking with them, you should use both English or Urdu, and it basically depends upon the interviewer. Like if you see interviewer is talking only in English, then you should like go with that. But if the interviewer is like talking in both, then you can use both. Or in some cases, even the interviewer, like in my case, interviewer asked me to use use Urdu as well. So I was using Urdu as well during my interview. So it depends, like it's okay to use both the languages. Then about the interview's duration. So the duration of the interview is usually 30 minutes, as they say in the email as well. Each interview, there are two interviews, and each of those are 30 minutes long. But they can expand or they can be even shorter depending upon how, matlab, like what is the discussion going on. Like if the discussion is going a bit long, then usually it does even get larger. Like some of my, even I had one interview, it was 1 hour 15 minutes long. So yeah, interviews do get longer, and it depends upon what the discussion is going and what is like that. Then the two interviews, usually one of the interview is a bit strict and it is a bit harsh, while the other one is a bit easy. So be prepared for that as well, that usually one doesn't go that well and the other one goes well. Okay. Other than that, things to bring, that you can take things about bringing like certificates. If you want to show some certificates, you can bring those. If you want to show something on your laptop, like your work regarding photography वगैरह, your website वगैरह, you can definitely bring that, or you can show them on your mobile as well. Other than that, you can whatever you're presenting, like some people have their artwork related stuff. So whatever you're presenting, it should be in a professional manner. Like if it's a artwork related stuff, so you should have a proper portfolio, and you should present it using that, so that it would look professional, and it would be good for that. Then next we are going to talk about some important questions that are, they are important question because most of the interviewers ask these questions. So yeah,
Hmm.
Hemant, would
All
you like
right.
to go
So
ahead?
there are a lot of questions that can come. लेकिन हम लोगों ने सिर्फ यहाँ वो mention किए हैं that are very common, because most of the questions are follow-up questions of what you say in the interview. But these are questions that like that interviewer is most likely to ask. So the first question will be about yourself, like your introduction, like tell me about yourself. और इसमें though it's a vague question, उसमें you have to answer in a very prepared manner, because when you will be starting the interview, you will be very nervous. So it is better if you prepare that beforehand. And उसमें आपने अपना नाम like नाम हो सकता है उन्हें already पता हो, तो so don't repeat that. You can tell your hello.
Ahmed, your voice
मेरी
lagged.
आवाज आ रही है?
Yeah, it's better now.
Alright, so उसके बाद आप अपनी हॉबीज बता सकते हो. यू कैन टेल अबाउट योर फैमिली एज वेल. एंड इफ यू वांट टू mention something like that you want the interview to follow up, so you can say that the thing that I want to highlight about myself is this. So it depends on you कि आगे इंटरव्यू किधर जाएगा. एंड ऑल्सो if you have to अगर वो फैमिली का पूछते हैं तो definitely tell about that. लेकिन अगर आपकी फैमिली में डॉक्टर्स हैं तो do mention that in your like introduction as well, because that is very important. Dan, do you want to add something?
Yeah, so yeah, exactly that. Like if you want to add something, like if you had something personal story related to your family, you can also tell that about in yourself. uh, that will also count in like that the things that as Ahmad said that you want to highlight for the interview, like you want to talk about them. Do try to add them, because whatever you say now, it will determine the next question, so there is always a follow-up question coming. So you should be prepared whatever you are saying. And because this is the thing that हम लोग do's and don'ts में भी बताएंगे, that you do not have to lie. So that is because there is a follow-up question always. So whatever you are saying, you should have a backstory covered with you. So even if they ask you next follow-up question for that, now you are able to answer that. Okay,
Definitely.
then okay,
And then
moving on to
the most important question is why medicine. और पिछले साल जब मैं इंटरव्यू की तैयारी कर रहा था तो मुझे इसका आंसर लाइक किसी प्रॉपरली किसी सीनियर से नहीं मिला था बिकॉज एवरीवन सेड दैट अपनी पर्सनल आंसर लिखो बट यू एज अ स्टूडेंट प्री मेड स्टूडेंट यू डोंट एग्जैक्टली नो हाउ टू लाइक डेवलप दैट आंसर तो इस वजह से आई विल बी डेफिनेटली सेइंग दैट के पर्सनल आंसर करो बट I would like to tell you how to make that answer and what pattern that you can follow to answer this question. So listen closely. सबसे पहले द फर्स्ट पैटर्न दैट मोस्ट पीपल फॉलो इज के आपकी फैमिली आपकी ये बायोग्राफी आपके मतलब बचपन में कोई ऐसा इवेंट हुआ हो जिस विच पर्स्यूड टू डू मेडिसिन लाइक योर पेरेंट्स आर डॉक्टर्स सो आप हॉस्पिटल गए उनके साथ या फिर you saw a person or you saw a patient or you went through an illness yourself so this is the first category that which you can follow like आप you can follow the pattern के childhood में कोई ऐसा इवेंट हुआ which pursued you to do medicine or that is why your bank you द सेकंड पैटर्न विच आई फॉलोड वाज कि आप अपने प्रोफाइल अपने वर्क के साथ लाइक जो आपने काम किए हैं उनको रिलेट करो मेडिसिन के साथ दैट यू डिड दिस एंड दैट इज व्हाई यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन डूइंग मेडिसिन एंड इन द फ्यूचर यू वांट टू कंटिन्यू दैट and combine your passion and like medicine the passion of medicine and that work as well like your work should come fall under medicine or like any biomedicine category if you're doing that and even if you did robotics or physics you can still combine that so there are two categories like first any event or the second your work these are the two like the most popular patterns that people follow. But other than that you can also like mention any person like if you're actually you have an answer for that then you can definitely mention that because that would make it more personal and more unique and you would have better chances then. अच्छा एक किसी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा would it be better to talk about your family in intro question or will they ask about this separately it depends on you like आप अपना intro किस तरह बनाते हो if it's too long तो फिर आप family को बेशक उसमें से for example आप avoid answer like you can just say that I have four siblings and my father like does this and my mother like does that but it can make your interview very long so uh, it's better if like मैंने तो मैं अपनी introduction में नहीं बताया था family का I did that afterwards when they asked me so you can
so
integrate that into
इसके
your
बारे में I would also like to say that it basically depends upon you. Like if you want to talk about your family, like you
hmm,
think that there is something that you should tell them, and uske related
hmm,
you have further things attached to that. Like some people have family related reasons for being why medicine. So अगर वहाँ से you can connect it for that, so
exactly
definitely you can answer. Like मेरे पास that like I had this thing, so it was related to my father, so like I wanted to tell them, so उसको मैं medicine के साथ link कर सकता था, so I use that. So it's about you that if you have something like you want to add, then you should definitely tell them in intro.
exactly so how long your answers should be approximately uh, like देखो that depends आप कितना content आपके पास है अगर आपके पास अच्छा content है keep on speaking अब वो आपको खुद interrupt कर सकते हैं उस point पे अच्छा move on to the next like they can ask you the next question so लेकिन try कि quality content हो concise हो don't beat around the bush and like talk about अपनी खाला चाची like be concise and show like only present the important stuff आगे आ
Okay,
तो
the
अच्छा the second
next question.
question the second most important question is why AKU तो इसका आंसर जो like it has to be personal but I let you know कि किस तरह personal आप अपने आप किसका आंसर आप किस तरह प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो You have to go to the AKU website. आपने सारी website पे देखना है क्या क्या AKU के departments हैं, like and you have to connect that with your work and your profile and what is your passion. For example, I connected like there's a department in AKU which I connected to my work. Okay, अच्छा, I can that department might be helpful for me in my career if I go to AKU, and that department is only in AKU. इसके अलावा you can also mention the like the sports thing that there's a very well equipped center in AKU about or SRC जो sports में काफी like well equipped है and you are very interested in sports, so इसलिए you want to come to AKU as well. So that depends on your research. ठीक है, इसमें आपने research करनी है कि you have to go to the website and see all that stuff that is connected to you. Okay, the
Okay,
next
so
question is why should we choose you? That is also a very important question. इसमें आपने you have to present yourself as an important candidate, तो वो जिससे वो impress हो और select हो. अब आपने ये नहीं बताना कि अच्छा बहुत simple चीजें नहीं बतानी कि I am very intelligent. आपने उसके reasons देने हैं. What how will AQ benefit from you? ठीक है. इसमें आपकी strengths भी आ सकती हैं and your passion for medicine भी आ सकता है, but you have to explain that in a very very good way. Dehan, would you like to add on that?
yeah, so it would be basically ke, whatever you are saying now, like if you're telling about something strength about you, so it should be backed by reasons. Like if you are saying that, like in your strengths, usually you say that you are a good leader, you have a good leadership quality. So you have to explain ke why. You have to give some reasons with that, some examples with that. Ke past mein what have you done like that you can say that you are a good leader. ठीक है. So this is how you should go ahead with answering why should we choose you. इसके अंदर give at least 4 to 5 year qualities which should be better. ठीक है. Then इसके अलावा I think so there is nothing else to add on why should we choose you.
हाँ,
Going ahead with
like it
the
depends on you.
next.
Like हम इसका आंसर नहीं कर सकते. You why should we choose you? आप खुद कर सकते हो. Like what आप में कैसी क्या क्वालिटी है which is very unique and which AKU will want to like select. ठीक है.
Okay,
So there are
so
other questions
going.
as well जो like
हाँ.
पूछ भी सकते हैं नहीं भी पूछ सकते like but they're important questions जैसे why not any other medical college which is very similar to why AKU, so it can have the same answer. अच्छा फिर
Right.
the next
इसके
question.
अलावा there are some questions
Hmm.
related to general knowledge about Pakistan जो इधर नीचे you can see like about the common diseases, social issues वगैरह. So all these things like problems in the healthcare system of Pakistan, you should all know these things. Search the Google, search the internet about it. उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा you should know, get some details about it, get some details about AQ as well, like AQ के अंदर societies, AQ की different different facilities provided being at AQ. You should know all those things, and I think so
हाँ
you will be
डेफिनेटली.
good to.
अच्छा आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं कि फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाई नॉट नर्सिंग और व्हाई नॉट बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग. So you should have an answer prepared for that. You can look up on Google and like there are a lot of answers to that question. So, but try to make it a little personal because in the end, अगर आप कह रहे हो कि मैंने लोगों की हेल्प करनी है, तो नर्सेज भी लोगों की हेल्प करते हैं, बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियर भी इन द एंड लोगों की हेल्प कर सकते हैं. बट व्हाई डू यू वांट टू डू स्पेसिफिकली मेडिसिन? क्योंकि डॉक्टर्स के पास ज़्यादा एक डिसीजन पावर होती है. यू कैन से दैट एंड देयर लॉट ऑफ आंसर्स टू दैट क्वेश्चन व्हिच यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट योरसेल्फ. देयर लॉट ऑफ आंसर्स ऑन गूगल सो यू कैन सर्च इट. अच्छा और क्वेश्चन है कि व्हाट इज योर प्लान आफ्टर एमबीबीएस. इसमें a lot of people say that don't mention that you are not gonna come back after like you're gonna go to the US and never gonna come back. It's not about that. You can say that I want to go to the US and I want to like practice medicine there. It has to be personal as well. But मैंने उनको ये कहा था कि मैं वहाँ जाऊँगा but I'll learn and then I'll come back when I have to give something back to my country, and that was an honest answer. तो आप उनको तो आप
Okay,
वो कह सकती हैं तो हर बंदा कहता है लेकिन आता कोई नहीं है. बट यू कैन से दैट लाइक you can have a personal reason. I had a personal reason for that, so it's
so
better if you
इसके अंदर
get
you
such answer
can
beforehand.
also इसके अंदर you can also add what's your plan after MBBS में that if you have nothing planned, obviously because it's your start now, it's your start of the career, so
Hmm.
probably some of
Exactly.
you won't have anything planned. So it's okay to say that you don't have anything as such
Hmm.
planned. You will see, you will look onto opportunities and different stuff. You have few things in mind, like show them that you have things in mind regarding PLAB or USMLE or वगैरह. But don't मतलब like you, it's okay to say that you have not decided any other field, like you have not decided what you have going to do. because you have obviously you have 5 years to decide onto that. So it's pretty much okay.
एग्जैक्टली और अगर आपको किसी क्वेश्चन का आंसर उस वक्त नहीं भी आ रहा ना, तो यू कैन आस्क देम टू गिव यू अ मिनट और टू टू think about it, or you can ask them to like move on to the next question and you'll think about that question and answer that later. That is like all right, and interviewers are like actually like that because that shows your confidence कि आप calm होके उसको कह रहे हो कि move on to the next question, I'll think about it. That does not leave a bad impression. और हाँ, ये जो कॉमन डिजीजेस ऑफ पाकिस्तान है, सोशल इश्यूज ऑफ पाकिस्तान, दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस बिकॉज इंटरव्यूज आपसे पूछेंगे टू चेक इफ यूर like if you reflect on the other issues in your country or in around the world rather than just studying your like your A levels or your work. ठीक है, तो आपको अगर if you're not aware about those issues right now, you can search it up like before going to your interview, और किसी न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ लो कि आजकल क्या चल रहा है. Especially regarding the flood situation, they can definitely ask about that कि क्या floods के बारे में क्या साइंस है, कहाँ से शुरू होते हैं, like what is the flood plain of Pakistan and why is it not affecting Karachi or other cities, Lahore or Rawalpindi, or if it hasn't affected your city. तो ये पूछ सकते हैं क्यों. एंड ऑल दे कैन ऑल्सो आस्क अबाउट द कोविड सिचुएशन, और अभी स्पेशली फ्लड्स की वजह से जो वाटर बॉर्न डिजीजेज हो रहे हैं पाकिस्तान में, दे कैन आस्क अबाउट दैट एंड आई थिंक दे डेफिनेटली विल. And problems in your healthcare system, they can ask about that. You have for that, you should know what is our healthcare system, like उसमें क्या components हैं. So do search it up and explain that if they ask.
So in
फिर एक
this
क्वेश्चन
problem
आता
के
है.
लिए
हाँ हाँ क्या.
healthcare system के अंदर ना there is another thing that scenario related होते हैं. So like they
हम्म.
can give you a scenario that if you are made the health minister of Pakistan for one day, what you are going to do? Like these type of questions. So you should know, because like if you know the problems in the healthcare system now, then you will be able to answer like what will you eradicate, what will you work on, what will be your motto. So all these things come under that.
डेफिनेटली. अच्छा, इसके बाद आ जाता है स्ट्रेंथ्स और वीकनेस का क्वेश्चन आ जाता है. और इसके लिए लाइक स्ट्रेंथ्स तो आप आराम से बता देते हो अपनी, बट वीकनेसेस में मोस्ट पीपल लाइक ट्राई टू बी ओवर स्मार्ट एंड ट्राई टू टेल वीकनेसेस जो असल में वीकनेसेस नहीं होती. एंड दे ट्राई टू शो दैट लाइक मैं तो बड़ा परफेक्शनिस्ट हूँ, मैं तो चीज़ें बड़ी अच्छी करता हूँ. दैट इज नॉट अ वीकनेस, और वो उनको पता लग जाएगा, इसलिए बी ऑनेस्ट इन दैट. एंड आप अपनी असल वीकनेस बताओ, बट टेल देम दैट हाउ आर यू ट्राइंग टू इम्प्रूव दैट, व्हाट स्टेप्स आर यू टेकिंग टू इम्प्रूव दैट सिचुएशन. For example, if you say that I was bad at public speaking, like I struggle in public speaking, but slowly I'm trying to do things that makes me get out of my comfort zone. For example, I'm trying to participate in MUNs and I'm trying to improve that. Tell them you're trying to improve your weakness instead of just trying to impress them with something that is not a weakness. And other than that, they can ask about the qualities of a doctor, तो उसमें empathy वगैरह आ जाती है. Do search it up. ये कुछ questions हैं जो like you can search it up and like find answers to that. And there are
Okay,
a lot of
there's
other
one
questions
thing.
as well.
Huh,
Uh,
eight cheese I wanted to talk about. Then I hope that Ahmed can also add on to that. That there is one question that they might ask. Usually, not every interviewer asks. Some interviewer do ask about that. That about cheating. So cheating is unethical. Yeah, keep this in mind. So whenever they like ask you about it, na, so you have to say no about it. ठीक है, this is because it's an unethical stuff, so you have to go with the ethical point of view. Even sometimes they ask questions regarding like they give you a scenario that your friend is cheating and you have seen him, that you should report him or not. So all these things, they all come under the ethics stuff. Even if medical practice ke andar, they can ask you like if doctor has done something wrong with the patient and you have seen it, now what you are supposed to do. So you have to go with the ethical approaches, what is the ethics regarding it, and you should go with that. And Ahmad, like you would like to add on that.
definitely. ये वेरी काफी important क्वेश्चन है जो लोग यूजुअली लाइक इंटरव्यूज पूछते हैं कि हैव यू एवर चीटेड. So a lot of people say that always answer with the no because आप usually you cannot explain why if you say yes. लेकिन अगर आप honest, कुछ लोगों ने yes कहते भी हैं, then you can explain that आप पहले करते थे, but then you realize that this is wrong, और मतलब आपने proper explanation देनी है कि if हमारी country में अगर everyone starts cheating, like every there is a lot of culture जिसमें majority of the people think that cheating is good, and I realized that, और मैंने इस वजह से अपने individually मैंने एक बना लिया कि I will never cheat. So this can also create a good impression instead of just saying no and they say ask why. तो फिर आपके पास कोई जवाब ना हो, that would create a bad impression. इसलिए आपके पास every answer का आपका एक reason होना चाहिए, ठीक है, कि why did you decide to not cheat? If everyone else is cheating, like how can you not cheat? Like it would just come off as a lie. And also never lie. आप किसी चीज में अगर कर रहे हो, झूठ झूठ बोल रहे हो, वो पकड़ लेंगे, बिकॉज वो ऐसे फॉलो अप क्वेश्चंस करते हैं ना जिसके आप उस वक्त आप बस एट द स्पॉट जवाब बनाना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है इफ यू लाई. बट अगर आपने असल में किया हो तो यू कम अप विद आंसर्स. एंड द सेकंड जो इंटरव्यू होता है या फिर यूजुअली वो दैट इज वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट, तो आपसे जानबूझ कैसे करेंगे सवाल दैट मेक यू लाइक पैनिक और मेक यू इवन एंग्री. So be prepared for that.
Right.
अच्छा, like there are a lot of other questions as well, और हम कोशिश करेंगे कि we type out all of the questions that are possible and share that link with you, and also share a blog with you that explains every like all of this stuff as well. Also, let's move on to the question and answer session. If Dhyan, isn't there nothing to add?
Yeah, I don't think so. I have anything to add. I will just share the comments.
Hmm. How long should your answers be approximately? We already answered that. ये था कि quality answer हो and try to be concise and only tell the important stuff. Summarize the important stuff, because probably don't like beat around the bush and talk about everything. Like try to make it short and and a quality answer. Being first in doctor is considered good. Like I've no one from healthcare system in my family. Yes, it doesn't matter as long as you have a good reason. Like आपने बस अपना reason होना चाहिए कि why are you doing medicine. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, actually it doesn't matter. Like from my experience as well, मेरे भी family में कोई, there is no one. So I am also a first gen
Uh,
doctor. So it
yeah,
is
you can
considered
also
good.
turn that into a strength as well. Like you can say that मेरी family में और कोई नहीं है and I'm not following that trend. I'm actually making my own decision. What else?
Okay, I'm just finding.
What if you're international? Will they ask you about things within Pakistan? So, मैं तो international नहीं था इसलिए I'm not sure, but definitely they can, because you are coming in Pakistan for 5 years. So ये नहीं है कि आपको बहुत detail पता हो, but you should know about the basic situation कि जब पाकिस्तान में floods आ रहे हैं, ये हो रहा है, तो basic जो general knowledge है, like वो हो सकता है वो थोड़ा बहुत पूछ लें, but it's not like very likely that they will ask. लेकिन पूछ सकते हैं डेफिनेटली, क्योंकि आप पाकिस्तान में आ रहे हो पढ़ने.
Okay, this one.
व्हाट इफ शी चीटेड 8 years ago? हाँ, तो वही है कि आप कह दो कि मैंने 8 साल पहले करती थी, लेकिन उसके बाद आई रियलाइज दैट इट्स नॉट गुड, एंड बस लाइक ट्राई टू कम अप विद एन एक्सप्लेनेशन. बट if you're not able to find a good explanation, it's better to say no. और आप कभी भी कह सकते हो कि आई हैव नेवर चीटेड बिकॉज आई सॉ दैट माई फ्रेंड्स even that was cheating, they never learned something, and I always wanted to learn instead of cheating, and my parents did not pressurize me to like, even if they did, you can say that they never pressurized me to get good grade and always ask me to be honest about stuff. It's like a good explanation कर सकते हो. Yes, they can, and if they get bored and they zone out, you might not be able to like convey the important stuff. So it's better if you convey the important stuff at the beginning and then explain that later on. That will make me ang अच्छा. अच्छा, मैं बताता हूँ. मुझे उन्होंने काफी क्वेश्चंस किए थे इस तरह के, but I would not share exactly what they said. But वो for example, अगर आप कुछ बता रहे हो, for example you had this achievement, so they can counter argument प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं वो कि ये ऐसा तो कुछ होता नहीं है, एंड व्हाट मेड यू एलिजिबल फॉर दैट, so you
अच्छा,
have to
आई हैव
explain
अ
that.
गुड एग्जांपल फॉर दिस। तो मेरे इंटरव्यू में हुआ था, लाइक दे ट्राइड टू मेक मी एंग्री बट मैंने नहीं किया था, बिकॉज दैट इज व्हाट दे सी, दैट यू शुड नॉट बिकम एंग्री एक छोटे से क्वेश्चन से ना। सो
Hmm.
व्हाट इज दैट आई हैव अ गुड एक्सपीरियंस इन टीचिंग। सो आई एम टीचिंग ओ ए लेवल स्टूडेंट्स ना, तो उसमें दे ही सेड टू मी दैट ही आल्सो हैव चिल्ड्रन हु आर लाइक currently in O and A levels, and he says that it comes under like, he says that I say that I am paying school the same fees and then I'm paying a lot of fees in the tuitions as well. So I see you as the part of the problem, like you are the part of the problem that you are giving tuitions, तो इसलिए बच्चे जो हैं वो बोलते हैं that they have to also go into school and also as a tuition. So this was my question, that might make me angry. So उस चीज पे that I answered it very precisely, like I answered it to make it as my good point, like I said that I only provide tuitions to those who actually need help, like they like some of them they are not in school, तो उन लोग के लिए help, like, or if they are in school, so school में there's not quality education, so sometimes the school is not able to provide quality education, तो वहाँ पर they are able to get help from the tuitions. So this is how you go ahead with these type of questions that can make you angry.
Definitely. और लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल वो पूछ सकते हैं कि like what's your MD CAT score, and they can roast you about that as well कि you did not get a good score, like, and फिर आपको like उसका explanation देनी पड़ सकती है, like, but they are just trying to do those things to test if you panic or not, because being a doctor you have to stay calm in a lot of situations, so they are just testing that. So try to remain calm when they are doing such stuff, and try to answer that logically and rationally instead of just being emotional. ये ना कहना नहीं 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 सर ये क्या ऐसी बातें नहीं, बस आराम से कहना सर आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट यू थिंक दिस वे, मे बी यू मिसअंडरस्टूड दैट, बट लेट मी एक्सप्लेन दैट अगेन. तो इस तरह की कोई आराम आराम से लाइक बी वेरी पोलाइट एंड रिपीट व्हाट यू सेड अगेन. अच्छा, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कैन दे आस्क इफ यू टेल देम योर इंटरेस्ट इन पब्लिक हेल्थ? हाँ, तो इसमें वो सही आप बहुत ज़्यादा क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकते हैं आपसे, लाइक प्रॉब्लम्स इन हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम, डिजीज ऑफ पाकिस्तान, और क्या डिजीजेज हैं, और पब्लिक हेल्थ के जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स होते हैं उसके रिगार्डिंग वो पूछ सकते हैं कि व्हाट मेड यू इंटरेस्टेड इन
Components of
पब्लिक हेल्थ
public
एंड
health
व्हाट हैव यू
वगैरह।
डन इन पब्लिक हेल्थ एज वेल. हम्म.
या कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ पब्लिक हेल्थ एक्सेट्रा, लाइक पब्लिक हेल्थ में क्या कंपोनेंट्स हैं, पाकिस्तान किस चीज़ में लैग कर रहा है, व्हाट शुड बी डन अबाउट इट, पब्लिक हेल्थ रिलेटेड, फिर देन यू शुड नो ऑल्सो अबाउट द मिनिस्टर्स ऑफ हेल्थ वगैरह, दैट इज ऑल्सो अ जर्नल जीके, सो यू शुड नो दैट फॉर नॉर्मल इंटरव्यू एज वेल। सो ये सब
हम्म.
चीज़ें। Okay, then there is a question regarding the expected date of interviews. So, Abdullah, usually interviews go for 1 month long, and they have been started. People have interviews on 5th of September as well. So they have been
हाँ.
started, and you will receive an email before 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days usually before
हाँ.
the week you are
You can
coming
also
to.
receive an email 1 week before your interview. So
So
it's better if
basically,
you start preparing it right now because कभी भी हो सकता है.
right. So basically, what happens now? They send an email by Thursday or Friday for all those interviews that are going to be conducted in the next week. So it is like that. So like if your interview is on Thursday or Friday, so you get 1 week before. Like if your interview is like Monday वगैरह, so you get it like 2 to 3 days before. It's like that.
हाँ, और एक और क्वेश्चन मैंने देखा था कि पॉलिटिकल जो क्वेश्चन था ना, लाइक इफ दे आस्क यू अबाउट योर पॉलिटिकल लाइक आइडियोलॉजी, ट्राई टू अवॉइड दैट क्वेश्चन एंड से दैट आई वुड नॉट लाइक टू कमेंट ऑन दैट, बिकॉज अगर आप कुछ ऐसा बोल दो जो इंटरव्यू की पॉलिटिकल आइडियोलॉजी के थोड़ा डिफरेंट हो, तो वो अनबायस होके भी कुछ डिफरेंट होगा, इवन दो इफ ही डज नॉट से एनीथिंग एट दैट मोमेंट, लेकिन अनबायस होके भी कुछ मसला हो सकता है, ठीक है, एक unintentionally कुछ मसला हो सकता है. So it's better if you avoid that question and say that I would not like to comment on that.
Yeah,
If
you
there's a
can
logical
skip them.
question,
Like you can say that I can't remember it right now. Like मेरे साथ हुआ था, तो it is okay. You can say that. And usually when you say that you are not, you can't remember. Usually they themselves answer it and tell you about it. So it's
hmm,
okay. Like if it's a general knowledge question, they themselves tell you, and it's
exactly.
perfectly okay.
Okay, it's more like a conversation. So it does not have to be very like strict. You can like interact with the interviewer as well. For example, I also interacted with the interviewer. I asked, I told them that I like what do you think about my project, and उस तरह की हमारी बातें हुई थी, तो you can like take it as a conversation as well. How can we justify grade this course? Uh, I'm not sure. Like, how do you have justify it? Like, don't have a very pretty answer for that. Try to be honest.
Would you like to answer this, Ahmed?
What very approximately what percent of the body is important after? Uh, some some other person also asked me this question, and I think there are a
मेरे
lot of
जाने
people, like
as per
around
I know that
30%, and 20 to
हाँ 30
30% हमारे batch gap year students हैं.
30 to 35% approximately.
Uh, a lot of people have gap. That is more than enough if you learned around five new skills.
So I think so that these are the only questions. Okay, there is one more. So basically, जो दो चीजें that are very contradictive ना are the politics beliefs and the religious beliefs. Try to like you can mention them, but don't try to contradict other things. Like मतलब they might be having a different ideology about those ना. So don't try to contradict. Like if you are saying about religious belief, so don't try to contradict other religions in that thing. So this would be like thing like this is a very sensitive topic. Try to avoid it, but like if you want to
हाँ,
talk it, then you have
try
to
to
talk it
avoid
very
it.
smart.
लेकिन अगर आपके पास एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग रीजन है, आपका बहुत आपने रिसर्च की भी इस बारे में, देन यू कैन डेफिनेटली मेंशन दैट, बट आपने बहुत एक ध्यान से उस चीज़ को बहुत केयरफुल होके मेंशन करना है दैट वी आर नॉट डीमीनिंग एनी अदर रिलीजन एंड वी आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू लाइक शो योर ओपिनियन अबाउट दैट.
Okay, so I don't think so. Like you, sometimes people do feel that their interviews have went well, but they don't get in. Like मेरे कुछ दोस्तों के साथ ऐसा हुआ था that they did feel कि interview went well, but उनका हुआ नहीं. So I don't think so. Like it's like you can tell that your मतलब like you can tell your interview went well, but it's not sure that you will get in or not.
हाँ,
Like
तो
I
ये
I'm not
डिपेंड करता है. फॉर सम टाइम योर इंटरव्यूअर से समथिंग दैट शोज यू दैट योर इंटरव्यू वेल. तो मेरा जो सेकंड इंटरव्यू हुआ, तो उसमें जब इंटरव्यू ने मुझे लाइक बहुत क्रॉस क्वेश्चंस किए थे, एंड ही सेड दैट वेयर डिड यू प्रिपेयर फॉर द इंटरव्यू. तो आई टोल्ड दैट मैंने प्रिपरेशन ऐसे स्पेसिफिकली कहीं से ही नहीं की थी. आई प्रिपेयर्ड फ्रॉम माई सेल्फ एंड आई आस्क्ड माई सीनियर्स एज वेल. तो लाइक दैट शोड मी के ही like believe that my interview went well.
अच्छा हाँ तो दिस इज ऑल्सो माई केस एज वेल मेरे में भी फर्स्ट इंटरव्यू के बाद ही सेड टू मी दैट व्हाट यू आर होपिंग फॉर इंशाल्लाह यू विल गेट इट लाइक समथिंग लाइक दैट तो
Hmm.
some sometimes the interviewer gives you hints so from that you can identify from
हाँ,
that.
बट इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि वो आपको हिंट देगा. हो सकता है वो बिल्कुल आपको ऑपोजिट शो कर रहा हो. इफ इज बीइंग टू नाइस दैट डज नॉट मीन कि वो आपको रख लेगा बस वो, एंड इफ इज बीइंग टू मीन दैट डज नॉट मीन कि आपको नहीं रखेगा. अच्छा,
Okay,
हाँ,
so
मैंने एक
in
क्वेश्चन किया था उससे कि व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट माय वर्क, बिकॉज मैं उस वक्त मैंने अपना काम कंप्लीट नहीं किया था, तो लाइक आई वाज लाइक आस्किंग फॉर हिज ओपिनियन एंड लाइक हिज एडवाइस. तो आप ये भी पूछ सकते हो. एंड बाकी यू कैन क्वेश्चन अबाउट ए के यू एज वेल, कि ए क्यू में डिपार्टमेंट है, फॉर एग्जांपल सी आई एम ई है या फिर सी सी आई टी है, तो हाउ डज इट वर्क.
So हाँ तो मेरा इंटरव्यू वाज इन कराची ना सो आई हैड वन इंटरव्यू CIME के अंदर ही इन द पीवीएल रूम्स तो आई आस्क्ड देम अबाउट दोस कि क्या पीवीएल रूम्स का क्या कॉन्सेप्ट है व्हाट इज पीवीएल वगैरह so you can ask those stuff as well you can even like if the interview is in the room of that person so if you see something like कोई उनकी कोई trophy पड़ी हुई है something like that या something that he has not mentioned about himself or herself so you can definitely ask them about that so it will also show that you are observant and you are
हाँ,
viewing stuff that is around you.
एग्जैक्टली. और हाँ हाँ, काफ़ी कुछ मेंशन कर लिया हमने. How many questions are there?
I think so we have answered all the questions. Yeah, we have answered all the questions.
We have all answered all the questions. अच्छा,
एक
हाँ, एक
मिनट.
क्वेश्चन है कि what to say
अच्छा
like if
हाँ
you don't
this
get an
one.
AQ. हाँ तो इसके भी डिफरेंट आंसर होते हैं और डिफरेंट आंसर्स करके लोग लाइक दे स्टिल गेट एक्सेप्टेड. मैंने ये कहा था कि आई वांट टू रीअप्लाई, आई वुड जस्ट गो टू अनदर कॉलेज. तो लेकिन सम पीपल से दैट दे वुड स्टिल रीअप्लाई.
Yeah.
तो
Acha, there is one thing
डिपेंड्स.
as well that some people also ask that if you don't get in any medical university, then what you will do? इस तरीके के क्वेश्चन भी होते हैं. So all of these questions, like the first thing that you should do is that you should show that you are interested in medicine. ये show करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, and you should show that this is your passion and you have to do it. Like even like if they say that you don't get in, then you have to say okay, like I will take a gap year, I will practice more, I will do more better, and get into that. So yeah, this is a major thing. Yeah, I think so.
आई
Ahmed,
थिंक
you
मैंने
have
ये
answered all the
इसका
questions.
आंसर ये किया था कि लाइक आई वांट रीअप्लाई, लाइक आई डोंट हैव लाइक आई आई हैवंट प्लान्ड टू रीअप्लाई राइट नाउ. लेकिन अगर मैं कहीं और जाता हूँ एंड इफ आई एम नॉट एबल टू लाइक गेट माय लाइक द थिंग्स दैट आई नीड टू डू इन माय लाइफ, लाइक मेरे करियर में जो मुझे हेल्प करेंगे, फॉर एग्जांपल द वर्क दैट आई वाज डूइंग, आई नीडेड टू लाइक देयर इज अ डिपार्टमेंट in AQ that could help me with that. And if I am unable to find such facilities anywhere else, then I would definitely reapply.
Right, exactly. And as said by Ahmad Shirumebi, and as you can see on the screen as well, that you have to lead the conversation. Whatever you
Hmm.
want to talk about, you have to go with that, so that whatever you are talking, there are follow up questions. So try to say things that you want them to know about you. Yeah, I
Definitely.
think so. That is it, and we don't have any more questions.
अगर कोई और question है तो you can like mention.
Yeah, or you can always reach out to us from Instagram, and we will be available over
हाँ,
there.
कोई क्वेश्चन है, कोई पर्सनल क्वेश्चन है तो definitely you can reach us out on either on WhatsApp groups और या फिर Instagram पे मैसेज करना तो कर लो. So we will be happy to like answer your question.
Okay, there's a one last question, and just we will wrap it up after this.
Like what kind of scholarship? Like you can ask them about scholarships. But they will definitely say कि हाँ AQs need blind because selection process के बाद ही financial aid वाला scene चलता है. But you can ask any question that you want उसके बाद if they ask. You thought would get in but didn't. हाँ, मेरा एक दोस्त था, he didn't get in because like he didn't prepare for such questions like जो पाकिस्तान के health care की situation है, like he didn't prepare for any of these questions, so probably that was the reason. So how to deal with strict and no nonsense type interviewers. ठीक है, आपने बस काम रहना है, आपको पता होना चाहिए कि they are just trying to make you like panic and break you, but you would have to stay calm and you should try to like if, like for example you are dealing with a patient that is very angry and you have to like deal with that interviewer in a similar way, because we have to say that I understand why you're thinking this way, but let me explain my point again. And that was not what I was trying to exactly say, and let me explain. So you have to like be very polite with that.
Right.
Like people who had amazing grades, extracurricular and perfect interviews. Hmm, like I'm not sure if I know such people. But yes,
Okay.
there are some people who don't get in because like they mess up their interviews, like they are not able to say some of the things, they're not able to stay calm even they have great grades and want distinctions, if they're not able to stay calm in their interviews, they usually don't get it. All right, I think
Yeah.
we should
So
like finish
that
it.
sums up our things. And if you have further any more questions, so this is what I'm going to share.
Yeah,
So you guys
definitely.
can see the guidance group. So this is the AQ interview guidance group. You can join this using take the screenshot of this, and you can just scan this QR code and join the group using the QR code. And
You
if you
can
have any
also like
query,
scan it right now and join.
yeah, exactly, you can scan it right now as well. And I will just change
All right. Thank you so much, guys, and again, congratulations for passing the AQ entry test. And we wish to see you in AQ as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, congratulations once again for clearing the shortlist, getting shortlisted, and we hope that you get into AKU, and we would be looking forward to seeing you all as our juniors. Allah Hafiz, everyone.
Office.